WWW, another banger, another banger, another banger, another banger, we're gonna have to pause that. Can you do me a favor? Can you test, is the volume good? Is the volume good? Can you go cheat real quick? See on my Twitch. See if the volume is good. You got to download Twitch? Check on my phone. No, just check on my phone. You don't have to download it. Just. Oh. Greetings, exalted one. I have came from a distant part of a certain land that many may not heard of. You know what that is? You said something? Is it working? It is? What about the music? Oh.
This is like you're dancing.
Alright. I'll switch. I knew something was wrong. Test stream, test stream. Doritos smacking.
What did he? Wow, bro, that's crazy. You said that right there. I ain't gonna lie. It's very crazy. It's too much.
Bro, Lazy sold so bad. Man. He was listening to some bangers. No one can hear but myself. That's tough.
What is this? Bro. It makes it sound like that.
Just listen to some bangers. No one can hear but myself.
Gameplay / browsing. Why do you make that? You should have just left the screen. What's up? Well, it is what it is.
Disappointed.
No.
I have a song request. What's it called? I think I remember one time seeing a commercial. Doritos almost made a bag with no labels, but just whole red, just red. Just the color red. Bro, Lazy folded so bad.
Ain't nothing coming from you.
Bro, Lazy folded so bad. That case is a lifesaver, bro. Good investment.
Dang. So wait. If I do this.
We got brand new merch.
It works now. Jesus, you gonna sign in YouTube or you just gonna
Look at Shaq. You said what?
Is he gonna sign into my YouTube or he's gonna actually gonna leave in my YouTube or he gonna sign into yours?
I'm just leave it. Cause that's a lot of work.
So, let's see videos. He's saying he wants.
Your camera disappeared? Yes. I want the camera to never come back.
Dang. So if I use that, the camera disappears. Dang, man.
It's so bad. This is Lazy's fault, guys. This is Lazy's fault. He sold tremendously. Tremendously. Horrendously. Horrendously, man. Horrendous.
You gonna be on the top corner or the bottom?
Leave it unlocked because I want to move it a lot.
It might disappear, so.
Oh, it's gonna disappear?
I don't know, but if it does, that's it.
It's all Lazy's fault. Lazy, go fix this, man. You're like 2K right now. You just break everything else. Bro, go fix this, bro.
I'm just
Man,
making
sell it hard.
I'll just make it later. I'll just find a good preset on and just put it there.
A good what?
A good preset.
What does that mean?
Like the one that's already made that I can just copy down. And then we'll put it down there and then we'll.
Oh, okay. So just use this for now?
Yeah. This right here. This one. What is he talking about? Horizon? Where is that song at, man?
Play that later.
You got it.
Play that later, bro. Hold on, man. We need to we need to get back together, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Hold up. First of all, ain't no one supposed to be looking while I'm about to play. Okay? You can't be looking at what I'm about to play. Alright? Alright, no. That man lazy so much. Stuff was rubbing off onto me. Alrighty. Actually, hold on. We got some things. Oh my goodness, that look crazy. We'll get right into it. Okay. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna send some videos that I already had planned to watch. Oh, that's a video. Okay, some of these things are already on here. All right.
Hi everyone, it's the
Relax. Okay, relax. All the people in the back, calm down. Okay. This is a Christian server. No, I'm just kidding. Oop. Snippet. Hold on. Snippet. That's enough of the snippet. So we are on the what no one tells you about living in Korea. I just thought it was something interesting, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hop on this, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what we are interesting, you know what I'm saying, host. Seems like she's from that Korea from her. She looked like she's from Korea herself. She looked like she's staring dead at me. Chill out. Anyways, she's talking about how racism, you know the word, culture, whoa, and dating. All right.
Yeah, welcome back to today's video. Please bear with me. The sun is going down, or it's not going down, but it's snowing today, so the lighting isn't as great. So I'm just gonna have to work with it. Lately, I realized that it's kind of a big trend to like come to Korea and experience all the great things here, and you know.
I have no idea it was a trend. I just, you know, so I really knew that a lot of continents don't like America. You know what I'm saying? Understandably. But as far as she's talking about trend, I'm like Patrick, bro. I live under a rock when it comes to trends. I don't really stay on top of that stuff, as you may know. Boomer for sure. You know what I'm saying? But digress on that.
You know, with the rise of K-waves and stuff like that, there's a lot of people that kind of romanticize what living in Korea is really like, and then
for the people that romanticize, at least do some, you know, some research, because not everything is what it seems.
And I see a lot of videos that are these foreigners coming into Korea and making videos about how Koreans are racist, or there's really thirsty guys here and they end up miserable actually living here. So
what did I say? Did I say do your research? Then look what happens. You know what I'm saying? The gulag you go.
So I just wanted to make this video to talk about what living in Korea is actually like. I kind of touched on these subjects a little bit when I made the why I left Korea video and 10 bizarre rules that Korean high schools might have. So you can check those out as well. But in today's video, I just wanted to touch on a couple topics that are kind of triggering, and also I want to touch on them not in a way of saying like I hate Korea, don't come here, but just to have realistic goals of what your life might be like when you actually do end up moving here. Just hope that it would just be like a friend that is actually living here giving you advice to other people that might be wondering what it's like to live there. So the first subject that I want to talk about is racism. Koreans are hella racist. Hella racist. They're so racist.
Oh, that's
if you
dope.
are not white people, you don't have a problem. You guys are going to...
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, the white folks have no problem. Respect to that. But us, you know what I'm saying, I'll pull up in there. You know what I'm saying, do my thing, and next thing you know, I'm behind bars. That's tough.
Find a great job here no matter what. I'm in the works of recruiting people, so I'm reaching out to Western teachers that might be interested in coming to Korea and going to work at a school or an institution. It's a really great job. You just teach English basically, and they provide you housing and food and all of that, which is really great. So side note, if you are interested or just want more information, reach out to me and I will do my best to help you. But anyway, if you are a blue-eyed person, you probably will have no trouble coming here and adjusting. I mean, there are still some like rude comments that you might face, but nothing quite compared to what other, you know, people of color might face. That is, you know, obviously including...
Hey, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to racism, I honestly don't care, because to each his own with that. If you're racist, hey, I kind of barely equal rights, equal less. You know what I'm saying? It would give the treatment from each side of this spectrum. Black, white, the whole Crayola. It don't matter. So, you know what I'm saying? This is what I gotta say to that. That's what I have to say. Give me one moment. Boomer, you know what I'm saying? Alert, so give me a sec. This is actually one of my favorite videos, like, in the internet. I can't find it. So it's right here. Somewhere. There he is. Alright. That's what I gotta say to that. Erase. Hey. This is all I have to say.
Southeast Asians, they are so racist towards Southeast Asians. It's crazy. There's a lot of like side remarks that they'll make, and they kind of have a feeling, I'm talking about Koreans, that they kind of have a feeling that you don't speak any Korean, so that's why they would just say really rude stuff like right in front of you. You know, my Filipino friends who...
I just want to say another thing. Accountability also, if you don't know, he speaks every language. So you'll be caught in 4K. I might not be able to know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my responsibility. All I gotta do is keep it moving, keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Accountability got my back. So y'all talk behind my back, got be all my back. So he's gonna watch y'all. Caught in 4K. And then next thing you know, the gulag you go.
Who would just daily interactions they would have, like a cab driver calling.
And I don't mind if you talk about me. I actually don't mind it at all. Because, it's not bad living in people's head rent free. Yeah, I mean, maybe me, but for me, I don't mind being talked about. You can talk about me. I could be your main topic of the day. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel, you know what I'm saying, important. No, just messing with you. I already know I'm important. That's why I'm on your head rent free. Simple. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a bad thing. Some people can make it as that. Like she said, people that talk about you and stuff in a bad manner. Some people can talk about you in a good manner. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Her but pretty for a Filipino. So stuff like that, like there's always an underlying like racism undertone there, which is really awful, and I feel like it's still a work in progress. Like Korea, if you don't know the whole history of Korea, it's just we've developed really, really quick, and we've globalized a lot of our culture, so it attracts a lot of overseas like tourists and just people that want to come here and buy the makeup products.
That's
or
true.
Go to the places that the Korea stars promote. But I think our culture in a way just can't keep up with how we are attracting all these people so fast. In schools, we don't talk about racism, we don't talk about colorism, anything like that. And it's just, if you make a racist joke, there's no one to call you out on it. Everyone just laughs. It's in a lot of comedy shows. And, I'm not blaming Koreans per se. It's just...
This is what I believe, okay? Nothing on her. But, since that is the case, Everybody goes through their trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Some learn, some don't. But hopefully, I hope that these people will learn from their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? To gain XP. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you don't gain XP. You know what you do gain? I would play it, but I'm not going to. You gain everything mid from Midtown. Simple.
There needs to be more development in educating ourselves with what is hurtful, what is racist, and what is, not okay to do or say. So racism, you are going to experience racism. I think just anywhere you go. There's also like really nice.
I experience that every day. Excuse me. I experience that every day. Liberal, specifically, liberal racism. I experience that a lot, especially when they talk. It's like you can't really do nothing. If you look at it from a reasonable viewpoint, you can't do nothing when they talk about you and stuff. Because in a way, they're doing it, maneuvering in a snakely manner. Where, you know what I'm saying, they slip through the cracks and you can't even confront them. Because you gonna look like the aggressor. And if I look at it from a third person view, I will look at it the same as you, the aggressor, because it takes two people to fight, for one. For two, whoever is the most that's less self-controlled is gonna be looked at as the culprit. I'm sorry, you're the imposter. But if you take it as a calmly manner, right, it's still not gonna look right, because just being in a conflict is just not it. It's not it. Too much negativity, overflowing freely. It's disturbing. So, I just personally, the method I use is Kim Kep. You probably already heard me say that earlier. Kim Kep. KIM KIP. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing.
Nice people here, so don't be scared that everyone's gonna be racist. There's also really nice people here that are going to be so intrigued that you decided to come to Korea and you're exploring. We don't really have culture appropriation in our culture, if that makes sense. So we would culture appropriate all these other countries without thinking that it's culture appreciation. The same way that you can wear hanboks, like the Korean traditional dresses for Halloween, you can do that. I guess for the majority of Koreans, even for me as well, I don't mind when other people wear Korean traditional dresses, because it's you're appreciating our culture. We take pride in that instead of saying that it's appropriation. It's always good if you speak a little bit of Korean.
Psych, I got nothing on. I don't know any Korean language. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Am I planning to learn some in the future? Whatever it is, but you know what I'm saying? We digress on that.
Obviously, no one would kind of expect you to, but it is always interesting. You're coming here and at least show you're trying to kind of pick up on the language, but we don't expect you to learn it or speak it fluently, of course. But people are just going to think that it's really great.
This look at something. Google, you better not sell. It usually does on the, you know what I'm saying, every now and then. Korea. Excuse me. I can barely see that stuff in here. I must have typed the right thing. Hold on.
안녕하세요.
Great. And also, this is kind of like a weird thing, but it's only like a
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. I'm about to, you know what? I'm about to put that in one of my beats. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, the track I'm about to make next, I'm about to say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something that rhymes with that. 안녕하세요. Okay.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. I feel like I'm saying it kind of, but then again, no. It's tough.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. We'll get back to that later.
applies to people that are working in business environments. I've seen that a lot of people are scared or like they stress over the Korean culture, right? Like the business environment of it. Like, am I supposed to shake hands? Am I supposed to like bow? Whatever. I guess like my advice is don't stress out about that too much.
안녕하세요. That's what you
I
guys
work in
supposed
a
to say.
business environment. I've talked to a lot of people that came from America or Australia, wherever, and they always like ask me like, hey, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? No one's really gonna care. Like, they know that you're different. They know that you're not Korean, so they wouldn't really expect you.
Oh, they're gonna know I'm different. I show up, they're gonna know I'm different. Just the way I move, the way I handle myself. I'm saying that people will know you're different if you just be in sync with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You in sync with yourself, they'll know you're different. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be different or it's a bad thing to be the same. It just depends on if you're in tune with yourself. So tell me this. Are you in sync?
You to do the same things that Koreans would, but it is always respectful to, you know, bow and just kind of know like the basic etiquettes before jumping into the business world, because if anything, you might be surprised of the things that goes on. Another topic is freaking, I don't want to say the word, but the sexual assault culture that goes on here in Korea. It is freaking insane. Like, it is insane. I didn't really think that it was insane until I started living in another country and experiencing their culture, their night culture. Korea is known for the night culture that we have. You know, there's all these great clubs.
This is the streets 4.0. Imagine the streets in America. The streets over there, different level. They different level. Okay.
That you can get into for free if you're a girl. Guys are always looking into talking to you, obviously trying to get in your pants, but talking to you, buying you food, buying you drinks. And a lot of people just kind of like naively get into it for girls. It's free drinks, it's free food, of course. But there's always going to be like, they want something from you.
It's always going to be accountability involved. You can't run from it. I'm sorry. You know, this might be, you know, what's that? Some sad news for some of you. Yeah, you can't run away from accountability. You can try to hide. You know, maneuver. It don't matter. It really doesn't. Accountability will and bring you back, you know what I'm saying, to the gulag.
But it's like, I know that's like that in every single country, but it's just way worse here, that you really need to take care of yourself when you go out, because there's no one that's, I don't want to say it, but there's really no one that's going to help you, because in our culture, you know, no.
I mean, they know what accountability is, so
no one really checks up on another. You are basically strangers, you know. When you are out in public, no one's really gonna be like, hey, how are you? No one really makes small talk here. So, you know, everyone just minds their own business, and then if they see something shady going on, they also mind their business because they just don't want to get into it.
saying nothing.
So you really need to take care of yourselves, or you really need to go out with people that are going to take good care of you. That is like the main thing. These guys, they are so gross. Like, they're just so freaking gross. I was really shocked when I went out for the first time when I was like 18, I guess, when I first turned legal, which was 18, 19. I don't go out anymore. But when I went out, I was so shocked because people in Korea are very conservative, or I thought they were really conservative. They don't really talk about sexual things, I guess. But then when you go out, it's like after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. when you go out to all these places, they are like, it's like all of that they've been like suppressing and hiding just kind of blows up, and it's just insane.
So that is demon time, bro. Those are demon individuals, and I know what she means. I'm pretty sure she knows that over here in America, this man and woman do that. Over there, I think since it's just only men do that, it's very tough. It's tough all sides, all corners. It's tough.
Like, I went out in Canada a couple times with friends. I've never been touched. I've never been groped. That has never happened to me. In Korea, that happens every time I go out. So that is just something to be aware of. I don't want to bash all guys out there.
Thank goodness you said that, because I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure there's some guys out there that probably don't be into that man on the right. This guy here? Oh, not Penguin. Not Moist Critical. The thumbnail guy over here. Yikes. So I had to do that. I had to, actually, yeah, also, oops, that probably sounded loud. Oh, yeah, continue, go ahead.
There, obviously, that's not what I'm trying to do, but it's just like the whole culture is what I'm saying. Like, it's not okay for you to do that, and they're just.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough.
I get like heated every time I talk about it because there's so much shit that goes on, and then I went out, not intentionally, but I'm friends. I didn't intend to go out, but it was like a year ago, I guess, when I first came here, and there was a little. I don't want to say little, but she was like 18, so that's like little to me. She came with us, and she was just so naive, and she was just clueless of what was going on, and I was just so shocked because there's guys that are going to there's a huge lineup of guys that are trying to take advantage of you every time you go out. So I don't want to scare anyone, but especially if you are a foreigner, there's a lot of guys that just want to hook up with a foreigner, just to say that they've hooked up with a foreigner, and they think that they have a stereotype that in, you know, the Western cultures you are more sexually active or more not, what's the opposite of conservative? So when you're in high school you start talking about these things, but then I'm like getting it. I think that the majority of guys in Korea, they don't really know that every single individual is different when it comes to how active they are. In that sense, they just think that, oh, if you are from overseas or if you're foreign, you're just more open to it, which is not true. If anything, I feel like they're more conservative. They're way more respectful. In Canada, like if I was going out, if I was like a little bit like tripping over a little bit, there was always people to check up on me and say, like, all these strangers be like, hey, are you okay? Which was so freaking nice because I've never had that here. Like, I've had guys trying to pull me, like forcefully pull me into their car.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough.
And
you know what I'm saying? Nothing. That's tough.
It was really, really nice. But I've just had so many experiences here that I just really want to warn everyone. Like, as a sister, I want to warn people that they really need to be careful. I advise on not going out, honestly. But if you are going to go out, then just go out with a big group of friends that are going to check up on you no matter what. Careful of that. There's always people that are going to roofie you. I don't want to say it, but they play all these like sick drinking games. It's not just like never have I ever put a finger down. It's not like that. It's really just so sick. Like, I don't know, like they're just always trying to take advantage of girls, and it's so gross. And I just would never stop speaking out about this because it's a huge problem that does need to change here. Just because you're drunk, there's still a couple laws here that apply that can exempt you from getting punished or a lawsuit happening if you say, oh, I was drunk. Then they're like, oh, then you weren't really yourself, huh? So that is also really messed up. It's just, underlying, the culture here. No one talks about this, but in schools, in subways, in public bathrooms, in spas, there are secret cameras, right? There's freaking secret cameras that are installed by these pervs, and they are spying on these people. I don't know, it's so sick. Especially like in the subways, if you take a subway here, there's all these like ads that are saying, oh, if you take a picture, that is, punishable by law. So if it's there in the subway as an ad, then you know that it's actually happening too much, right? On an everyday basis. So girls are always wearing like little shorts underneath their skirts, especially if you are taking the subway or if you're taking public transportation, because there's guys that are going to like sneak their phones under you.
I can't even imagine the fathers. I can't imagine the fathers. The fathers for these kids. And this is why accountability. Equal rights, equal lefts. These goofs that are entertaining this activities or involved in it from a suspect an imposter or culprit suspect side or view. Hey man, accountability is on your case.
And try to take a picture, which is so freaking gross. Why? Like, I don't know. Yeah, so there's a lot of that.
No sir.
Speaking of night culture as well, let's go back into it. There's guys that are, I don't know, I've noticed, you know, it's like a whole like fantasy when you come to Korea, you want to party all night, take the first train home. I'm telling you, when the clubs start closing, which is I guess like around 5, 6 a.m., that's when the guys really get desperate, because the ones that do get to go home with the girl, they usually go home at like 2 or 3. But around 5, 6, that's like the people that are really desperate. And I've had incidences where, I've had like 3 incidences where it was just me and my friend, we're waiting for the train or the bus to go back home. And these guys would literally just like hold you up and try to like put you in their cars. And the taxi drivers are just like sitting there like, okay, another round. You know, no one speaks up. No one's like, hey, leave that girl. No one does that, which is so freaking
You know what I'm
sad.
saying?
I literally had to like kick someone. And these are really people. These are like, like they would just look like a very respectful Korean guy. Like I just want to keep saying that it's not all guys, but it's just because of the whole culture that is rooted in the system, that if you are a guy, you're gonna have 1 or 2 people in your friend group or just someone that you know that do this, that do roofie girls, that do take advantage of these girls.
I would have never be friends with them. If I would find that out, I would never.
Underage or not, they don't they don't care about that. And no one, I guess, we need more people. We need more people to speak out against it and say this is going on and it is wrong, because there's not a lot of people doing that. It's kind of being brushed under the rug, and I hate that. That's why I hate it when people like fantasize over these Korean guys and they're like, oh my god, he's Korean. No, because, you know, just because they're Korean doesn't mean that they're freaking perfect. Some of them are freaking, they should be in jail. Honestly, they really should be in jail. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. You might need to punch someone when you go out. So please be careful of that. Be, you know, very mindful of that not every single guy out here is trying to make you a main character of, you know, whatever drama that you're fantasizing about. I guess you can tell by now that the people that you do need to be careful about are the famous people, the people in the industry, or just people that are also in industry, but they're on a streaming platform. It's called Africa TV, or I don't know what the new thing is now, but something related to streaming platforms, because I've realized that I've had experiences with these Korean like K-pop idols that do roofie people and that do take advantage.
Dang, they got no personality. That's tough. They're just demons. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to sign into my YouTube, bro, after this video.
And they invite you to their
Cause I got a lot of videos I could react to.
VIP room and stuff like that. So that I don't get into any like legal trouble. I'm not saying any names right now, but I'm just saying that does happen. So you really need to be careful. Just because they're famous doesn't mean that they are going to like date you, treat you with respect. And then the people that also are freaking worse is the people on streaming platforms, because it happened when I was underage, and I feel like when I was underage, I was in a lot more dangerous situations than I am now, simply because I was just so naive, and I just thought like, wow, that's an amazing opportunity. Because when you're young, you want to seize every moment, you want to take every opportunity. You never know when you're going to meet the right person. That's why you meet everyone. And I had just had more awful experiences.
This is why I'm single. I don't got time to be doing that. meet everyone. What? Hey, yo. Hey. I think I heard it say young people do that. Hey, I was young. I am still young. I'm 20 something, but younger. Like, hey, from now till then, back then, I never wanted to meet every single person. Seize every moment. That was not my move. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. And I'm so glad. No, sir. I was in my bag. No, sir. Alright, let me stop. Because what she said was tough.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing. But that's tough. My nigga. Yeah.
That was
more
about
when I
to
was
be
younger than I am
copyright.
now. And of those experiences is when I was like going out, or I had IG DMs of these from these quite famous streamers, and they would say, I'm going to pay you X amount of money. It actually happened very recently. I just blocked it, but when I was younger I did not block it, and I entertained it, and they would say, I'm going to pay you $100 for an hour, and all I want to do is have you on my streaming platform, and we're just going to drink and just talk. I went with my friend, and they were just pouring drinks over drinks, and they're just talking, questioning like, what is your type, what is, just making like talk, I guess. It's a live streaming platform, so they would have people constantly like ask questions or comment. And
this is why I would never, I'm sorry, I would never, hey, I don't care who's offended, I would never have a girl on my street. I would never have that. No, sir. No, sir. I don't give 2 knocks, 2 milks, 2 cares, or any of that. Because too many things be going on, too many assumptions that can easily just put a scar in someone's like reputation. No girls in my stream. The only girl you be seeing in my stream is gonna be my loved one. That's it. Like the ones that's like part of the family. The ones that's not part of the family, you won't be like physically on my stream. You could be like, we could be online, like what you call it, like Discord or something. But physically being on the stream, like she's talking about, this dude was giving drinks and stuff to them. No.
And the people and the person is just kind of like asking us and just entertaining the people at the same time. So they were kind of the host, I guess, and comfortable, because on those streaming platforms people say the most rudest things, and they're kind of hiding behind a face, so you don't really like, it's kind of weird for you to call them out. So we're just laughing it off, and then they were pouring a lot of drinks, and then I just said at one point in the middle of the whole thing, I think I was just like, I'm underage. And then we left. Sorry, I wasn't underage, but I was like just legal. But that was like a weird experience. And then after that, I've had people, not my friends, but my friends, who would say that they actually went to these opportunities, and they were roofied, and they were assaulted later that night, and they just couldn't get anything done because, like I said, legislation sucks that if you are drunk, you are just gonna let go, right? It's awful. It does happen, unfortunately, anywhere in the world, but it happens too often here, and a lot of these people, they don't really know that it is wrong, and then they have other people to back them up saying like, it's not, everyone does it, it's fine, but it's not fine, is what I'm trying to say. And then the reason why I personally don't really go out anymore with like my Korean friends is that when I like speak up about this and I say that is not okay, people just brush it under the rug, and it's not like we need to get that guy. We need to tell them that that was fucked up, but they're just kind of like, yeah, it's wrong, but like everyone does it, so when do you want to go out next? And I hate that. That turned into a rant really quick, but that happens. And another thing that no one really talks about is the body shaming here. And obviously you see all these K-pop stars that have the perfect body, they're so skinny, but it's actually so sad because I've actually seen some people that say that they are the reasons why their eating disorders kind of came back, which is so awful because, you know, in the Western world, you're all about like, I mean, not just in the Western world, but in the whole world in general. You're just more like accepting the curves and all of that. But in Korea, being skinny is still the top of the thing. That is everyone's goal, is just to be skinny, and it's just so sad because you see all these like IG or like YouTubers, and people always ask them like, how much do you weigh? And they answer, and usually it's like not healthy. It's borderline not healthy, but they promote it, and then, you know, when people
I weigh like, I think the last time I checked, I weighed like 167, 160, 170. I mean, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I've been having, still am, some issues with that. Like, your boy, you know what I'm saying, going through it, but it is what it is. We'll keep it pushing it, we'll keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is true right here, but
ask like, how do you maintain your weight? They say, I eat an apple and a sweet potato and I starve for 3 days. And it's like,
dang, he only starved for 3 days? I mean, that's tough for him, but like, only 3 days? Let's trade lives. Let's trade lives. Let's trade it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man.
that's not okay. Like, but it's just so normalized.
Hello, anyone? Any, are you okay? Are you okay, Any?
And I'm ashamed to say that I was doing it for a while. Especially if you are in Korea, like, most clothes are only one size. People that are kind of bigger, they still buy those free.
That's tough. So over there, they starve intentionally. That's tough. I mean, that's still bad though. Like, I would never do that intentionally, but that's still bad if they do it intentionally. That means they're being molded. I really knew that because I heard some of the articles they was talking about how the Korean stars and stuff, they going through it. That's tough. That's tough. Hold on. I was gonna test something real quick because the lighting is trash. Let me fix that. Let's see. Not bad. Just doing some experimenting over here. Just doing some experimenting. Oh. It's not going too well. Oh. Hey. This might be a little annoying. I ain't gonna lie. This. You win some, you lose some. win some, you lose some, but you get to live another day. Where you guys know that quote from? You know that quote? That quote is from Friday, the movie. If you haven't watched Friday, don't watch it.
Size clothes because they're like, oh, I want to wear this when I lose weight, and that is always in the back of my mind, the back of their heads, that I can't really wear like pretty things right now because I'm, you know, not the size that everyone else seems to be. Something that needs to, I think that really.
That's a mindset you got to change. Is there any special thing or goals you want for your stream? I've talked about that with my boy Lazy, the seller. Like we talked about. Hold on. Oh. Yep. We talked about we talked about me and Lazy, right? We said, well, he told me that because we was talking about, I'm sorry, I had a long day, you know what I'm saying? Brother, still keeping it pushing, but we talked about a couple days ago that the reason why I stream in the first place is because not for the views, not for the money. I do it as like, that's how I basically, like, I use that as another mirror, but a live version. So you know how you look in the mirror, see, you know, make sure you get the crust out your eyes or whatever, you know, trying to shape up. And for me, I see it as like you know, learning about, that's another way of me learning about myself. Like, I see what I can improve and stuff based off how I perceive, you know, how I should how I want to perceive myself, like how I want everybody else to see. So, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, which is being myself, which is, I'm good at that, if you don't know by now. But I digress in that. Back to the point is that I do it as, for example, if I stream now and then I watch it later and then I see what I need to improve, this and that, just little adjustments. It's not something crazy like, hey guys, or be very active. You never see that here. I'm being a calm individual. If no one likes that, you want to see hype person, get the freak out of here. You know what I'm saying? There's another stream for that. A lot of other people out here. My brother gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be voobin. Simple. That's what we do over here, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. But we're streaming right now, as you already know. Reacting to a video. Pretty tough, not gonna lie. She talked about a lot of stuff. You missed 20, is that? What is it on? 21 minutes of the video, but it's okay.
Needs to change because there's some really beautiful.
The voobin getting stronger.
People here that call themselves fat. Those things that I touched on, I think those are all of it. I could expand a little bit more on each of the subjects, but I just don't want to go too overboard. I'm making this video not to scare you. It's not coming to Korea or.
Basically, she was talking about Korea. There's a lot of tough things about that. But understandably, it's a lot happening, like the same similar things here in America and the different continents. But she was saying specifically from there's a lot of stuff that's out of pocket, like you know, for the girls out there, for the women, if you go to Korea, she said that after 9 you will get groped. I'm sorry, after 9 outside you will get groped. She said that because the guys that said. She said, especially when it hits 5 or 6 a.m. too, like later on, hours later, those guys like that be around at 5 or 6 a.m. are the demon semens. I repeat, they are the demon semens. He said that they would go out of their way to grab you into their what is that? Their taxi or whatever, and the taxi driver minds his business, understandably so, you know. He's only looking at his attributes and reasonably saying, I can't help her because I would get beat up too. Reasonably. You know what I'm saying? So, nothing against the taxi driver, but that's tough. You feel me? That's tough. And she said she's trying to, like, you know, get more people to, you know, be aware of it and stuff. And that is very tough. You know what I'm saying? I had to play this a couple times. This sound effect right here. Where is it at?
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing. But that's tough. My nigga.
And the ones that I was playing a lot too was this. Indeed it is. Shout out to what's her name? Sienna Hong. What's that? Translate. Aya single, something like that. Let me go back to it. I learned another language, Korean, one word. Let me go back to it. I was saying it kind of decent.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. That means hello. And what was the other one?
안녕.
안녕. Sienna Hong. 안녕. Alright, we on another video, you know what I'm saying? Respectable individual. And good, you know, appreciate her sharing that information. So we're on to the next reaction, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Rocket.
Sir.
Keep it moving, keep it pushing, keep it moving, G. Keep it moving, G. Keep it pushing, G. Keep it pushing, G. Keep it a moving, OG. Keeping it pushing, capiche. Have you ever met my twin? Accountability watching the good and toxic.
Yeah, Magic City in the Cali Hills. Shotty on me cause she popped a pill. My friends coming over, she know the deal. I gotta hide my chains, ain't money still. Put a tag on that boy like Mike Will. I was off of them drugs like crack seal. I ain't leaving this her till I make a meal. When I make a meal, I ain't gon' chill. Boy, you can't talk, you ain't into that. My chopper going like rat-a-tat. That boy, he soft like a cash grab. I'm on the lead, I might take it now. Boy, you can't play with that boy. My niggas making some noise. I'm riding around in some toys. Gotta blow up, I don't have a choice.
Them dark nights at night. Gotta get up and start stunning. Really, I do it. Can't fall for influence. Silly boy, you foolish. Yeah, I be in that back room, just kicking it, just coolin'. Yeah, lead my team to the top, no one beating us to it. Yeah, we big in that checks every day, that's what we doing. Yeah, I kinda really got you caught. I kinda really got you foolin'. So I'ma be the best I can be. Always gonna be me. I'ma keep it real, that's why Shawty feeling love. I'ma keep the deal so they know I keep it up. I just got this bank, put it straight up. And I'm running all this knowledge.
Another banger, you know what I'm saying? Living life. Alright, next vid. Ooh, this is interesting.
This video is sponsored by Ren.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, okay? Let me get settled. Oh. Okay. Who is this with? Sorry, I didn't. You remember when I used to say that I'd be so you know, the vibe be so strong. The vibe be so strong, like, I sometimes forget that I be streaming. I forgot I was streaming for a second. Let me check back what you said. You said we was talking about me and Lazy talked about me. Oh, streaming about. Oh, you was trying to mock me? Okay. Who is this with? Who was what with? That song that was playing. Oh, that was me, TNG Goat, and my bro, Vrixies. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Am I tripping? What am I tripping? I'm tripping? My bad. I was just cooling, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, that I was over here tripping. Thought I was cooling.
Is love?
Our conception of love is messed up. Is your conception of love is messed up? What do you view conception of love? How you view it? What do you view? What is love to you? What is love? Generally speaking. Love is a giant thing. Big. Way to describe the word.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing, but that's tough, my nigga.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the size of love is giant indeed. Let's see what this individual has to say about that. What is their name? 괉ᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ. I butchered your name. That's tough. Yeah, I say it was unintentional. It's tough. Let's continue.
In art? Then it requires knowledge and effort. Or is love a pleasant sense?
W description. Aniwanza. W description. I see it. Indeed, it is honest, supportive, and kind, but in unconditional and consistent way.
Sensation, which
That's a good way to put it. I respect
to
that.
experience is a matter of
W.
chance, something one falls into if one is lucky. This little book is based on the former premise, while undoubtedly the majority of people today believe in the latter. Not that people think that love is not important, they are starved for it. They watch endless numbers of films and happy and unhappy love stories.
Who is this people she's talking about? She's talking about the people that are single watch happy and happy love stories. I don't watch no films that's happy and unhappy love stories. I literally just got done watching Lord of the Rings. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? I'm excluded. I'm excluding myself from this because she's obviously not talking about me. She's talking about maybe everybody else. We don't know. You just speak for themselves. She ain't talking about me. I just got done watching Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Episode 1. I'm about to get in episode 2. I could have watched it the same night, but I was tired. I slept. But I digress. Okay.
They listen to hundreds of trashy songs about love, yet hardly anyone thinks that there's anything that needs to be learned about love. scrolling through posts about romantic relationships nowadays, I kind of hate it. Not because I'm a cynic or I find PDA to be cringy. In fact, I love love. I think it should be central to the way we live our lives. But there are several beliefs about romantic relationships that I see commonly floating around on the internet that bug me. There's the if he wanted to, he would group, the never settle advocates, the constant talk about red flags and standards, and letting random strangers on TikTok make you question your healthy relationships.
She's probably talking about people that are already couples, because if she's talking about seeing things as red, I see a lot of red flags. Hey, I'm gonna see red flags regardless. You don't have to be in a relationship. It don't have to. It could be anything. If you see a person with a gun, them showing their GTA Los Santos Customs strap, you will not. You're telling me you wouldn't see that as a red flag? You'd be like, oh, he's just another guy. You know what I'm saying? He's probably minding, hardworking man. He's over there, putting in the work. And then he points it at you, and then the gulag you go.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
What was that? TikTok to your girl when your relationship going well. Okay, what is her name? 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ. 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ. She probably means well, but this clip you brought up, it doesn't even make sense to me. What is this man even saying? TikTok to your girl when your relationship going well. This must be a TikTok, like only someone that would be on TikTok will understand this. I don't know. Can y'all tell me? I can't interpret this. It's clapping my brain cells looking at this unlogical description of the video of this guy talking about. Why? I don't know. Why would 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏ? Why would you put this clip? I lost brain cells. Watching this.
Relationships that I see commonly floating around on the internet that bug me. There's the if he wanted to, he would group, the never settle advocates, the constant talk about red flags and standards, and letting random strangers on TikTok make you question your healthy relationship.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
As a preface, I'll probably talk more so about things I see and hear from straight women, since that's what I identify as. But the fundamental concepts that I talk about for love do apply to all romantic relationships, regardless of gender or sexuality. Before I get to specific content I see online, let's talk about two broader questions. Is love passive or active? In other words, is love a state that exists independently and is waiting for us to fall into? Or does it require our participation and effort to bring about?
It requires effort to bring about. Indeed. It's like you literally, this woman right here, 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏ, let me see, I'm sorry for butchering your name, 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏ. This woman, 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏ, just literally said in another way, I'm making more basic, clearly term for you guys. Basically, what 괚ᴜᴘᴘᴏ said, it's like going to the gym and looking at everybody else work out and not doing the work yourself, and then getting mad you're not expecting the results you wanted. I mean, obviously you need to put effort in to bring that about. Come on now. You can't just think about it. Oh, I got love now. Go.
2. Is our conception of love grounded in anything real? Or are we comparing our relationships to hyper-real love?
Whoever is comparing their relationships to hyper-real love, you need to slow down in life. You're moving too mad. Hey, mate, you're moving mad, yeah? You're moving way too mad, way too fast. Calm down.
We can't love if we're all dead from climate change, right? Smooth segue into a sponsorship, I know. Well,
I respect that.
we'll have 10 extra trees planted in. Is love passive or active? Based on the quote I recited at the beginning of the video, you can probably guess that I believe love is active. And I want to be clear, a lot.
Bro, I need to invest in a good camera, bro, because she has a fire camera, but like you can see all the makeup she has. Respectfully, you know, she like makeup, she likes makeup, but you can even see the makeup and layers and stuff. It's very clear. Her little chain is shiny. You know what I'm saying? Shining all the way to my forehead. You can see that's through the screen, bro. You can see it's clean. You can see the thing, bro. I need a camera like that. I'm gonna ask her what type of camera she got.
She got the camera.
What's oh yeah, I do need to sign in though. I did say I was gonna sign in. 괱ᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ. Snippet, 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 snippet. 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 I logged into the wrong account. Man, I got so much passwords and so much codes and stuff just memorized, bruh. Ay, ay, ay. I need to remove this. It's me. Fowfrom. It's me. I ain't gonna lie, that song's too hard. We're playing that again. This is a snippet, guys. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even came out yet. You're welcome. I'm just messing with you. It don't matter because I got that song and I'll play it every time. Okay. changed it 4 days ago. Oh, I saved it. No, that's not it. Cool plus vibe equals voobin. I might have to reset my password because I don't remember.
We all have purposes. We all have purposes. We all have purposes. I've been counting on my comments. I've been adding more pros. Starting on a competition. Got me feeling like a boss. Getting taste me some more. Hard times had to grow. I really been in a row. Really been getting down. Dreams flying coast to coast. Getting hard just being you. Really can't see the truth. Really can't see the loot. Going out for a night drive in the coupe. So they said I look good, like so do you. Remember them hard times, had to go through. But I kind of just kept pushing through.
I'll change it finally. So you can get in now, yay. No, what is it doing? Yay.
Walking outside, better than Fiji, better than eating me up zucchini. More than I got it, finish the verb. Got what you need, pushing that work. Up in the air, I be with that birds. Getting that sky, just work. Over the top, over the top. Hop on the track, get on top. I'm putting that pressure, I put it on top. Getting that shit, I put it on block. Getting your shit post up by the vengeance. W, niggas that's winning. I'm on the block and I got it, I spit it. She is a snack and I vend it.
all up on me, she tastes like bubble gum. I was just here for the rest, but now I'm having fun. Came in the game, was shaking shit, look what I've done. Never be talking to me, got no I'm a son.
Alrighty.
This video is types of people at.
This video is sponsored by Ren. Is love in auction projects that you can help fund, such as market. You try to make yourself as lovable as possible, which is really dependent on the time period and culture. For a long time, the dream man.
Wait, what?
I buy your possible. Love is somehow out there, waiting for us to stumble upon. You hear phrases.
Love is not out there, it's stumbled on. Love is in here. If you can't find that, I'm sorry. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? You better get assistance, or you know what I'm saying? Hey. It's in here. Gotta tap in.
Such as, true love comes to those who wait. Do not chase love. It will just find you when the time is right. And so people focus on.
Hey man, that sounds like a whole lot of laziness to me. I don't know who does that, but stop. You're selling yourself, you're selling everyone, including yourself, and you're folding at the same time. You're selling and folding. So what is that? Combine that, that's solding. You're solding right now. You're solding, or another version, folding, selling. You're felling. You're felling right now.
Making themselves as lovable as possible rather than loving. From
making themselves lovable as possible. I don't care who loves me, bruh. That's your problem. Has nothing to do with me. That's a personal problem. If you don't love me, that's a personal problem. If you love me, that's a personal problem. That has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna keep it pushing, keep it moving. I'm gonna do the same thing before I met you. Do the same thing when I met you. I'm gonna do the same thing if we separate. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is at the end of the day.
Likens dating to modern capitalism. Modern capitalism works on the premise
of down here,
mutually beneficial exchange. I buy your product and you get my money. To participate in the dating world is to place yourself in what Fowfrom calls the personality market. You try to make yourself as lovable as possible, which is really dependent on the time period and culture. For
you know what I'm saying? Hey, it don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Brother want to keep it pushing because the brother's an OG. You know what I'm saying?
For a long time, the dream man was ambitious, physically strong, a protector. But now there's a lot more demand for men who crochet and will cry into our shoulders. A lot of people also try to make themselves lovable for certain types of people. For example, if person 1 wants a goth titty GF and person 2 wants a computer science boy, they're probably going to dress differently and get well versed in different talking points. But by then, they've already become selective about which market they're putting themselves out onto. They are already deciding what kind of love should come their way. And so really, love becomes what will satisfy your desire to not be lonely. Fowfrom compares this self-interested search for a partner to a bargain, because you can almost think of it like a graph.
I've been lonely for the longest time, and I've learned to deal with it, and it's actually not that bad now. I actually love it. I'm not alone, but I am lonely, and that's good for me. I love it. I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I love it a lot. I actually really love it. But let's stop, because we already heard myself say that a bunch of times.
You have fallen in love when you find the optimal sweet spot between social value and desire for you. This strategical exchange doesn't really treat people as people. Instead, we become commodities on this personality market, and we're all trying to increase our market value by adhering to what others want. I know a lot of straight women are happy and think it's quite progressive that more straight men are moving from a alpha gym bro lifestyle to adopting more nerdy, soft, or feminine traits. I see so many comments being like, oh, men are finally listening to what women want.
I'm gonna be me. Now, if they say they like my personality stuff, cool. If they say they don't like my personality stuff, cool. It don't matter. I feel like that's a lot of people should feel that way, because this, what she's saying, it is true. What is she saying is true. A lot of people are doing that, you know, trying to cater to someone else. Me, I don't cater to no human. I'm sorry. I cater to no human. I cater to a spirit creature. I don't cater to humans. I respect humans, all of them. I don't cater to humans. So you either like me or you don't. You don't like me, find a way to stay away from me. If you like me, respect yourself and respect others, and we're good. Simple as that. Can't get more clear. You feel me?
And don't get me wrong, I definitely prefer the latter type of men as well. But should we really be happy about this? Like, the men are just adhering to changing social values to be more desirable on this personality market. But is a man who is traditionally masculine necessarily a worse lover than a man written by a woman? Instead of congratulating people for becoming a better commodity to soothe our awareness of our existential loneliness, why do we not focus on loving itself? This is what I mean by passive versus active conceptions of love. Someone who thinks of love passively asks, how do I become loved? Someone
Dang. If you have to ask, how do I become loved? Don't date no one. Please, do not date anyone. Do not date. You will sell from the get-go. You are the problem if you saying, how do I be loved? You are currently the problem, and you have to fix it, which is starting with yourself. Love yourself. Alright, don't be trying to go and make love for someone else. You're gonna ruin it. You're gonna fold, and it's gonna be your fault. Not 100%, but 50%. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have came into that situation a lot better, and you know it. And let's not fool ourselves here. Accountability will always be involved. But that's beside the point. The point is, if you have to ask yourself that, it's not generally a bad thing. Just do not, for your sake. For sure, especially especially for your sake, but for everyone else too. Do not go date. All right, you need to date yourself first.
Who thinks of love actively asks, how do I love?
How do you love? The same as people that think like that. Nothing wrong generally. Do not go and try to take upon someone else's, identity, like not taking it, but like, assisting and supporting you don't have that for yourself yet. So you go in there trying to do, it's like trying to go to a gun GTA style Los Santos Customs fight. When you're coming in with the CSGO knife, you're straight to the gulag you go. You know what I'm saying? That makes me want to play this. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing, but that's tough. My nigga.
Appreciate that. So, you know what I'm saying? I can't go to that extent of talking like that. So I use him as my, you know what I'm saying, expression of what I can't do. I don't express myself to that degree because, you know what I'm saying, I have my esophagus limited, and that's fine. Alright, I'm working with what I got. You know what I'm saying, keeping it pushing. Appreciate that, so. You know what I'm saying? But back to the video.
Relationships end, people tend to focus on how to improve their lovability by working out, getting their hair done, buying new clothes, advancing their career, as exemplified by post-breakup glow-up videos on YouTube.
I'm gonna have a post-breakup glow-up, basically just doing my hair and makeup.
So we're gonna get my hair dyed.
Nothing wrong with what they doing. Post breakup glow up. This is the first time hearing that. Like I said, I'm a boomer, young boomer in the building, young boomer folk. You know what I'm saying? It's okay because we're still vibing, voobin. You feel me? And you know, only getting stronger. But it's fine if you want to do breakup glow up, whatever this glow up, this whatever these people, TikTokers, whatever they're talking about, whatever they're saying. But do you really gain anything from recording this? Like, do you truly believe you will gain a positive results from it? Because, yeah, you can do that. But are you sure you're willing to live with the decision when you do choose to record? Not saying you shouldn't. That's up to you. But do you see, are you able to handle the results if it's not the one that you expected? Are you able to handle the results, the bad results, depending on your current attributes? Do you see this from that? If you don't see it like that, and then you get hurt later if something doesn't go your way,
you know what I'm saying? That's tough. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing, but that's
we're gonna whiten my teeth, we're gonna do a face mask, exfoliate, wax my eyebrows, wax my upper lip, shave, do a full face of makeup, hopefully put extensions in, get my nails done, get my toes done. We're gonna do the most.
And yes, I know people often claim that these transformations are for self-love and not others, but I'm highly suspicious of how
not others, huh? I mean, you're sure showing a lot of people your personal activities. Nothing wrong if you choose to do that, but hey, if you don't believe in accountability,
that's tough, my nigga.
Changing so much of your physical appearance is self-love. Sure, you will feel more confident, but it's because you now feel more desirable to others. We're always so concerned with being loved. I know it's a popular joke for people to comment things like throwing myself off of the Empire State Building or eating glass for breakfast under happy couple posts. And it's funny, okay, don't get me wrong, but it's funny because we feel that there is a level of truth to it. Seeing other people in happy relationships prompts us to feel sad or slightly jealous that we are not being loved enough. Rarely do they ever make us feel that we can improve as a lover and maybe help bring that kind of love into our lives. We seem to take our concept of love itself for granted. Most people assume that...
Hey, bro, I'm sorry, bro. I've been making myself laugh. I'm telling you, the vibe is too strong. But, bro, I was looking at this video. Man, when I saw, man. Oh my goodness. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, when she said this, bro. Hold up.
Seeing other people in happy relationships prompts us to feel sad or so concerned with being loved. I know it's a popular joke for people to comment things like throwing myself off of the Empire State Building or eating glass for breakfast.
I've never seen this post, probably because, I mean, I don't really, probably don't dabble whatever they're dabbling in, but she's saying that in romantic post pictures, I mean, I think I've not posted. I think I've commented on one of my homies' posts. It was a romantic post, and it didn't make me feel some type of way. But for these people to feel some type of way about that, this is what I have. This is my expression right here, bro. Like, why are you worried about that? Why are you worried about what they doing, bro? Why you feel like why you feel like they don't deserve that? You should get that. Go and put in the work. Go do that to yourself first, or people gonna start looking at you like this, including me. Hey, yo, this is too funny, bro.
Under happy couple posts. And it's funny, okay, don't get me wrong, but it's funny because we feel that there is a level of truth to it. Seeing other people in happy relationships prompts us to feel sad or slightly jealous that we are not.
It don't prompt me. I'm sorry. I gotta exclude myself from her convo because I'm watching the video. So, you know what I'm saying? She's saying us, meaning everyone, including herself, and I understand that. But, you know what I'm saying, for good content and, you know, the type of person I am, I'm gonna exclude myself, okay? I'm gonna exclude myself. Because I don't be jealous. Never was. It was always the opposite, though, but the world we live in.
Not being loved enough. Rarely do they ever make us think about how we can improve as a lover and maybe help bring that kind of love into our lives. We seem to take our concept of love itself for granted. Most people assume that love is just intuitively known and it does not need to be learned. Everyone will just naturally know what it is. But this stems.
No. That's not how it goes. This is why when you go to the gym, you still won't be fit because you have to go to the gym and put in the work.
From the problem of treating love as an object, a noun, a feeling, something that just happens to us. Fromm and also bell hooks, rest in peace queen, say we need to shift our perspective and understand love as an activity. Fromm actually calls love an art. And just like being good at any art, such as playing an instrument, dancing, painting, it requires constant practice, dedication, and faith. Just as how you can't be a good piano player by only playing when you feel like it. You can't be good at love if you only choose to love when it is convenient and enjoyable for you. Fromm also says that an art requires faith. When you practice an art and you run into a difficult skill, rather than give up because it's hard, you have to have faith in eventually succeeding and dedicate effort to that art until you succeed. The same is with love. I'll get more into this later on with the overuse of the term red flags, but I feel like people start to doubt their whole relationship just because they saw one random person on TikTok say something. Of course, if there's constant cheating, lying, abuse, etc., these are clear signs to leave. Wiring our brains to think about love as something active rather than passive is actually really helpful in separating love from abuse and dishonesty. I want to read a passage from bell hooks all about love.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I almost left the video, not because it's trash. Her content, this person's content is not trash whatsoever. It's just that I really know the concept of it and stuff, and you know, I'm so in tune and in sync with myself. It's just that I know the love. I know what love is. Love is literally a act. It's an act from genuosity, like generosity, genuine, from the genuine individual, genuine identity, which is yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you're in tune with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to learn from mistakes instead of seeing it as a bad thing. But she's saying some good points as well. it's like going. It's like let's see. It's like trying to, I don't know if that's a sport or if it's, yeah, I believe it is, but like the fast walking sport. Let's say that they made a sport for, right? Let's say they made a sport for the walking, right? Just walking. And you will have to be trained by that. Now, yeah, the training just, it's good to go through that procedure and stuff, but you would know most of what to do. You literally do it for a living. But the thing is, you still have to, because you never know. So that's understandable. So that's why I'm like, I'm not going to leave yet, because there's people out there that could be watching me. I'm not saying they will, not that I care. But if you do choose to watch, or whoever does choose to watch, they may have a different viewpoint of love, and maybe this can, they can add to it. Not saying that it would change their viewpoint. This would change their viewpoint, or mine's will. It's more like they'll have an additional DLC, you feel me? Like EA, but a better version, because EA is garbage. But specifically, back to the topic, it would be a good additional info. They would have, while having their original mindset, whatever that is.
That I really like. To begin by always thinking of love as an action rather than a feeling is one way in which anyone using the word in this manner automatically assumes accountability and responsibility.
Is one way in which anyone using the word in this manner automatically assumes as an action rather than a feeling. I mean, action and a feeling. Having a feeling is an active thing. Having a feeling is an active thing. So if you really look at it, action and feeling is part of an action. It's not something like what you called like air just gusting or breezing through your body. This is a feeling that activates, meaning that's an action. It becomes a verb after that. So I understand what she's saying though. She has good points. Real talk. What's her name again? 괰ᴜᴘᴘᴏʀᴛ. I do apologize for butchering your name. That is tough.
Love as an action rather than a feeling is one way in which anyone using the word in this manner automatically assumes accountability and responsibility. We are often taught we have no control over our feelings, yet
man, word taught me that goofy. But I threw that concept out the window a long time ago, especially when I was younger. But that's everyone. Everyone has their, what is that? It is what it is. Everyone has their decisions, whatever. But for me personally, I threw that concept out the window. That concept made no sense to me. Made zero sense. And when I first heard that concept, this is how I felt, literally. When I heard that concept, when it was being taught to me, introduced to me, this is how I felt. Like, let me see. I feel like this over here. They got me feeling like this over here, man. It got me feeling like this when I heard that concept.
Most of us accept that we choose our actions, that intention and will inform what we do. We also accept that our actions have consequences. To think of actions shaping feelings is one way we rid ourselves of conventionally accepted assumptions, such as that one simply falls in love without exercising will or choice, that there are such things as crimes of passion, i.e. he killed her because he loved her so much. If we were constantly remembering that love is as love does, we would not use the word in a manner that devalues and degrades its meaning. I think that most importantly, when you work on an art, creating a wonderful result is what leaves you with fulfillment, right? For instance, by finishing a beautiful painting, an artist bestows meaning upon their life because the painting, as a product of the artist's efforts, reflects their incredible abilities back onto themselves. The artist realizes that they are the reason why this canvas is so beautiful. Thus, love is to nurture the flourishing of someone else, and you recognize your own worth through their flourishing. If we treat love as an active art rather than a thing, love is about giving rather than receiving. A lot of people think that giving equals sacrifice, and that's why it's so honorable to do it. But Fromm says that giving does not have to require us sacrificing anything. When done,
I was lucky talk about that stuff earlier, similar to that. Like she said about the example of the painting guy, or the person they painted, and look at the results that they made it, and seeing the love they love in that, and back into themselves. That's literally what I just said earlier. I was doing that for me when it comes to streaming and stuff, and seeing the improvements and stuff, and also it gives back to others because people see it. They can have their own opinions, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Win-win for me. Win-win for the others. That depends on the way how to see it. But at the end of the day, a brother doing what he can. A brother doing his thing. A brother keeping it moving. A brother keeping pushing.
For the sake of giving and not some other goal. Giving is actually the best way to combat our existential loneliness. When you give, you experience your own strength, energy, and aliveness. This is true when you give anything, such as giving money or giving food to your children. But this is especially true in giving love. Because when you give love, you give all the things that make up you. Your interests, your emotions, your passions, your knowledge. Quote, he enhances the other sense of aliveness by enhancing his own sense of aliveness. Sadly, in heterosexual relationships, I still think this idea of the man being the giver and the woman being the receiver is present. And a lot of women happily endorse this idea because it's nice and easy to be the receiver. My man should ask me to be his Valentine. He should be giving me flowers. My man should be doing this and that for me. I see this.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Actually, no, I'm
the sentiment get worse because of social media, portraying perfect images of people's boyfriends. You know, the ones where a girl shows off all the sweet things her boyfriend does for her. And the comments are filled with stuff like, my standards just got higher. Why doesn't my boyfriend do this for me? If he wanted to, he would. Again, the dominant narrative here is that love equals being loved, which equals getting stuff. Of course, it feels nice to receive things, and it's important to have a lover that gives things as symbols of love. But ladies, basing love on what you receive makes love a passive commodity. You gotta focus on love as an action and give back. And giving love is not about giving material objects. It's about giving you as a person, sharing your thoughts, your humor, your joy, and your sadness. That's what giving love is. One of the most loving couples I've come across are Hannah and Shane. They talk about how so many people pity Hannah as some poor sacrificial giver because they think she just gives without receiving things we typically associate with love back, such as traditional forms of pleasure.
See what I'm saying? These people that are hating on these people, right? These beautiful couple. respect that dude's shoes. And that shoes got me off guard. Them joint looks clean. It looks clean on my man's. Sheesh, man looking crispy. No wonder he got her, pulled her. Easy. Easy being him. It's easy. That man got the clean sneaks. He got that clean fit. Man knows how to dress. Man knows how to dress. But also, for the haters out there, right? Evil world out here, man. It's the evil world we live in, man. I don't even want to get into it because not worth my time. My time is too precious for them.
I'm a woman who asked if I was Shane's cousin.
Yeah.
And he said,
crazy. Disrespectful, bro. Accountability got your back. You probably slap all those folks that tried you. You know what I'm saying? I know.
no, this is my girlfriend. And she like came up to me and took my hands and began to cry and was like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Like, you're an angel, which was super uncomfortable because that insinuates that I'm an angel because Shane is a terrible choice.
People wonder why Hannah, who has high social value as a pretty woman, would partake in this
England, the seller is here. England, I heard that. Oh, I just saw somebody on chat said that. Was the Queen died? The Queen died. Yeah, that's tough.
fair exchange.
Excuse me.
It goes back to this dominant idea of love being finding the best bargain on the market. But Shane and Hannah don't care about this dominant conception of love. They love each other because they give their personhood to each other, and they love the person they each are, without primarily focused on what's in it for them. At this point, maybe you're like, okay, Olivia, good job on becoming the most idealistic lover girl with zero connection to reality. As romantic as giving for the sake of giving sounds, without care about receiving material gifts. We all want to feel loved. Doing the loving is so much effort, and I'm too insecure to not crave being loved. Plus,
this is exactly why I love being lonely, because that insecurity is out the window. When you start to love yourself first, you become less insecure, for one. For two, a lot of good things happen for me. You know what I'm saying? And for three, the love you've been finding all along was in here from the first place. And this is why I say I love streaming and I love doing that stuff. And I don't do it for views, for subs. I don't give a freak who's following me. Unsub if you don't like my stuff, because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I believe you have preferences just like everyone else. Go find that stuff. If it's not here, stop wasting your time. Get off my screen, or get off my stream. I say screen, but anyways, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep the genuine and natural than keep the pretending. Pretendo. Play with me, you pretendo. I'm gonna play you like Nintendo. Don't get that out of here. Simple.
you can't just erase the value that material gifts have in our capitalist culture. And to all that, I say, you are right. You are 100% right. You got me. Which is why proper loving is counterculture. It's near impossible because it's so opposed to how current culture is. How can I focus on giving when I'm surrounded by people on social media showing off what they receive? When our culture is so based on consumerism, on who has what. And obviously I'm going to be obsessed with increasing my social value when that's how I'm constantly judged. How can I dedicate that much time to practicing love as an art when society tells me there are other important things to do, like
stop believing what society tells you what to do. Instead, you can hear society out, which is, I think, is important. Hear society out, hear everyone out, but you don't have to necessarily listen. Just hear them out, okay? You just make things a lot easier, smooth the edges. You know what I'm saying? Putting your own game here. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you choose to do, just make sure that you're able to live with the consequences of it, whether it's good or bad. All right, try to at least look at the worst possible consequences. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe everyone always look at the good. Look at the worst ones and be real with yourself. Look at your current attributes. Can you handle that stuff? All right, stop. Don't fool yourself. Fool anyone else but yourself. So, if you come to a conclusion you cannot, don't make that decision. Whether it's society's influence or not. Alright? Quit being goofy. And tighten up.
Having a good career. I need to spend time on school and work. And so I only have time to practice love on a select number of people. And for all these reasons, that's why I say our conception of love is messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up. I believe that indeed.
According to Jean Baudrillard, we interact more with what he calls hyperreality than reality itself. To explain what hyperreality is, I think it's best to just dive into one of Baudrillard's examples. Consider the movie Apocalypse Now, a film about the Vietnam War. The acting, the special effects, the sets, the editing, everything about the film is made so that when we watch it on our screen, it feels as real as possible. Heck, it becomes more real than the real war. Most of our understanding of the real Vietnam War comes from reading video clips online, some news articles documenting the big highlights, maybe a speech from some politician, but we have no real experience of the real Vietnam War. And the little bits and pieces we get from the news is an extremely watered down version of the war. They tell us how many people died, show short clips of soldiers fighting and innocent residents harmed, but what about the thousands of stories that go unheard? The film Apocalypse Now ends up actually feeling more real than the real war. When people talk about the Vietnam War, they picture scenes from the movie rather than the actual war. The media, that was originally an imitation of reality, ends up being more real, thus hyperreal. The hyperreal was originally a copy of something real, but then we start to interact with the hyperreal more than reality, and so new forms of media end up imitating hyperreality rather than reality. It becomes a loop of copies, copying copies, copying copies, until our lives are looking at copies of copies of copies. I believe Stephen West.
I promise you, there's no copy of me. Go ahead, prove me wrong, bro. Ain't no one acting like me, bro. I mean, I take that back. I'm not acting like no one. I mean, you can act like me, but they can act like me, but I'm not acting like no one. Simple as that, Chief. Hold up, we need to fix this. Nah. Ooh. Maybe. This one might be the best one. Yep.
Guest from Philosophize This gave an example of how TV shows originally drew inspiration from real people and real lives. But over time, new TV shows became inspired by past TV shows, creating shows that are now completely detached from reality. For instance, How I Met Your Mother or Friends comes out, and we, in real life, start to frame what happens to us in relation to these TV shows. We create character tropes all the time that we then form our real relationships around, such as people saying, I want to be just like Lily and Marshall.
Or Monica and Chandler.
I never ever. The only time I said I wanted to be like someone was I said that I wanted to be like Fowfrom TTV, because he's very inspirational, and I learned a lot from him, and gives a lot of random advices. It's pretty random, but it always hit every time, and so it's just every time it just always seems to fit the situation. It's like he's so in sync with himself to the point where everything around him is in sync with him. Not saying that he is better than anyone, because that's not true. More like he is content with himself and respects everyone else just like he respects himself. So it's just a good vibe around him. It's just it attracts me to him. Fowfrom TTV, man, that's one individual. That's one type of individual.
We
right
see
there.
people have magical love at first sight moments on screen and then build expectations of having the same magical feeling in
That movie stuff, the romantic stuff on the movies when they look at each other and stuff. Real life, people need to just stop yin yanging fantasy with real life, because that's when where it becomes very messy and like you said, messed up, and the concept and all that. Just because everyone just wants to yin yang reality with fantasy, and then when accountability comes and be like, hey, knock it off, and then everybody, and then those folks that see it as yin yang, they get hurt and start to cry and like kids, and then they start to throw fits and throw a tantrum and be chaotic and reflect that. It's not a good energy to be around. Okay, but it is what it is at the end of the day, and like I always say, right? What I always say, like Future always says, and love and
in
life.
real life.
I would be forever wed to her.
The imaginary dictates reality. These expectations and tropes constrain us in thinking love needs to be a certain way, or that if we start off as the hyper girlfriend, calm boyfriend trope, we need to maintain that trope. But the thing is, these expectations and tropes are not based in reality. Now, how does everything we've talked about apply to common phrases online? Let's start with, if he wanted to, he would. Two things about this.
So I don't know about that trend, but it sounds very stupid. If he wanted to, he would. Well, that means he's sabotaging himself. Why are you? If you wanted to do that, then go to where you'll be able to be doing that. Go to where it will prosper that feeling, instead of being like, if he wanted to, he would. What? Why are you sabotaging yourself? What do you gain from that? Okay, that goes for both sides, I'm pretty sure. But if they're saying only one side, it's dumb either way. Straight goofy. If he wanted to, he would. He needs to go where he will do that. There's no if he wanted to. Just go do what you want to do, and stop like making things like that. If he wanted to, like, bro, go do your thing, and she go do her thing. Go do where y'all are most happy with. Yeah, there's gonna be some sacrifices or whatnot. Bro, you sacrifice every day. As soon as you step a foot outside your door, it's a sacrifice, bro. This is not guarantee you coming back. Why is it not all people, but it's the people that believe that? What do you gain from that? Go stop wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? Wasting your time doing something you don't want to do. If you feel like you have to so it can, support what you love to do, then fine, that's understandable. But go make something out of yourself. But it starts with here.
Mindset bother me. One, it builds the expectation that our partners, specifically men, should know what to do and know what we want without us communicating it.
Yeah. Miscommunication, that's one of the top things that it almost pisses me off, but it just a little irritated. Miscommunication, and that's understandable. 1 second. They can come in, it doesn't matter. It's not like my stream is banned or something. Alright. As long as it's not a girl. It gotta be only dudes. Yeah, if you guys want to hear it, I only allow dudes to be like physically around me, like when I'm streaming specifically. No girls, because obviously you know how that is with the internet stuff. And I want my specific image in a certain way, and I will get my way because I'm a reasonable person, and that's a reasonable thing to have. You know what I'm saying? Which is common sense. Not common anymore. It's rare sense now. So I'm gonna take that back. It's rare sense. But yeah, as far as online though, I can play with. It's fine. I don't mind having a girl on the stream in general, like playing on stream, like online. But they can't be physically. No sir. Online, cool. Play games online, cool. I say we cool on that part. What's good? What's good?
Go.
What's good? What's good?
Streaming?
Yes sir, yes sir. Streaming, just reacting to this girl. She's trying to explain like the current ideology of love from like society point of view, and she's like on point the whole time. And there was things I added on that, like she was saying how people like, you know how movie love is in the movies and stuff, and the shows and anime and whatnot. Like people, like some people perceive that type of love in reality. They're trying to mix that with reality and be like, oh, why is he ain't doing this? What I saw in episode 2 of this show with that, he's not acting like him. That's when it gets clapped. Yeah, and she said that it's like it's a society like what is that? Contaminated virus, bro, basically. And she's right. And I was just getting my viewpoints on, adding to her thoughts, and you know what I'm saying? It's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Two, as many people have pointed out, it's literally contradictory. Girls say if he wanted to, he would, and so they don't tell their man what they want because he should just do it if he wants to. But then
Isaiah TG had that one? All I need is a Westworld chain or something. This right here was like $16. You know what I'm saying? Pants, $40.
Truly, girls don't know what they want. I mean, it's not all girls though. Some girls, yeah, they don't know what they want, and it is what it is. Some guys just they misguided, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's an evil world we live in, but I'm gonna keep on living and loving life.
If guys had the same mindset, then they would not make the first move either because
yeah, that right there is true. They can't speak. Like some of them, they don't like making the first moves. We all know how a lot of women don't like making the first move, which is pretty L in y'all part, in y'all department when it comes to women. And hey, that's a fat L on y'all part. Yeah, I'm willing to make the move first, but it's understandable from certain situations, that they go through. But at the end of the day, if you really like that dude, stop being a delinquent and go and make that move. You want him, go get it. But at the end of the day, don't act aggressive or crazy. You gotta pursue it. Don't go crazy. All right, but take some pointers. Go look up my guy Taekwondo. He's good. He's a dating coach. He teaches girls and guys, co-ed coach. You know what I'm saying? Go hit him up. He will teach y'all how to date and how to move, make your move, especially for women. Go to that man, man. He would teach y'all women a lot of y'all women how to, make you move on a man appropriately. Okay, we need to put that in there with bolded letters because a lot of y'all be a little disturbing and disgusting and nasty. Chill out. You're not all right. No for the streets. We're doing self-respect over here. You feel me? Self-respect. Respect yourself. You feel me? So
they're thinking if she wanted to, she would, and so no one would do anything. Also, sometimes people want to do things but are not sure if they should, are scared, anxious.
not know what they want. You're right. See, I need to fix that that bag of trash. Hey, you sold, okay? You sold this. So you do, you know what I'm saying? You will have to come and fix this indeed. You sold on this. You know what I'm saying? We had to, this wasn't even on. Like, the camera wasn't, my brother had to set this up. Fricks had to come and set the camera up. And, you know what I'm saying? The mic, the whole mic could even, like, it was all like, not even on and stuff. He had to come and configure it. You sold. You sold. You sold. You told him. Why he didn't tell me? Why did I had to come in here? He didn't say nothing to me, and then I had to come and ask for his help to come and do this. So somebody here is lying. Somebody capping.
Just shy.
If he wanted to, he would. But then want to and don't. Look at that. See, this is the type of people I'm talking about. They're talking about if he wanted to, he would, and then you gonna say you don't. But then I want to and don't. See, the women that be doing this is exactly why you get what you want, which is an L in your plate. You're goofy. Don't think just because you're beautiful and you have the looks, that will take you a long way. Calm down with that, because accountability will surely tell you it isn't. And you don't have to believe me. Accountability will make you believe it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hear from me. You can hear from the big boss himself. Simple.
Or maybe they value your input, which I really hope they do. Communication is so important. If you
Facts. What's her name? 괰ᴜᴘᴘᴏ. Keep butchering your name. My bad. Whatever your name. Oli. I'm gonna call you Oli for short. Oli is speaking facts right now. Communication is key, bruh. Key. Communication is so important, and I want to add into what she's saying because she's right 100%. But I'm putting it generally speaking. Relationship, it don't matter what situation you're in. Communication is most definitely important, man.
do. Communication is so important. If you truly love someone, you would not base your partner's worth on whether they give you exactly what you want. You would care about how much you're giving them and whether you're both having a reciprocal relationship. Before Valentine's Day, I saw quite a few TikToks talking about how women in heterosexual relationships should wait to see if their man does something romantic for them without saying anything. Or if you do say something, you should only mention it once. If your man doesn't do anything or forgets that thing you had said once, it's a sign to end the relationship.
And they know that it's important to you, you would only have had to say it once, right? Because if
Bro, who is this maniac on my screen talking about you only have to say it once? What are you talking about? No one in this life says anything once and people will understand it, or say anything once and people will do it. That is impossible. What life you're living in? You're mentally like brain damage. You need like critical life support, bro. You need something, because that mindset is clapped. That mindset is contaminated, bro. Thinking you just gonna say something one time and everyone will understand, or it's gonna be understood. You delusional reptile, bro. What are you talking about? Like, dude, no one here does that. What life are you living in, bro? Straight up living in that gulag midtown mentality life, bro.
they loved you, they would remember things that were important to you, and it would be important to them too. Move in silence on Valentine's Day. Don't say anything. Hide the gift you're getting them. Hide the things that you're doing for them. Not in a manipulative way, just wait.
Not in a manipulative way? That is a manipulative way. You're not saying nothing and you know you should, but you want to keep it a quiet and make them think something else. That is manipulative. You know what you're doing, bro.
You walk away from that day disappointed, feeling unappreciated, feeling alone, feeling like, ugh, they're right. It's just a day. It's commercialized. It doesn't mean anything. They show me they love me every day, so it doesn't really matter. And I do care about them, and I do. Stop. Okay?
What are you talking about? You just stopped yourself from talking. What are you? You're telling us to stop? This is a maniac, guys. This is a maniac. She stopped herself from talking and tried to act like she's calming everybody else down. This maniac on my screen, bruh. No, sir.
The thing that bugged me the most is that these TikToks would say, even if he shows you that he loves you every other day, if he misses the mark on this one commercialized, arbitrary day, then sorry, he clearly doesn't love you. There is so much concern around what can my man do for me, can he meet my standards, that this one day can determine the trajectory of the rest of your relationship? I know it's different for everyone. Maybe your boyfriend has amazing memory and grew up in a loving environment. But for my boyfriend and I, we both have a lot going on in our lives. And so it's unreasonable to expect us to remember something someone said once. Just because I forget that he wanted a poke bowl today for dinner does not mean he's not important to me.
Are you guys going somewhere?
Yeah, we about to go take some pictures.
Oh, okay.
This man's making W content. W content. W content.
You guys, what you guys gonna do after that?
I have no idea, bro. I want to make a banger. How long you planning to stream for?
I'm just doing reactions right now. I don't game or nothing. The stream is pretty short. I was gonna finish after this. I already
go for a long
No, it's okay. I was just gonna stream for a little bit, just doing reactions, and then he the drug seller. Who the drug seller?
He's the drug seller. Kirito.
Yeah, Lazy's the drug seller. I don't know what this man don't know. I ain't no drug seller. This man. He said Flo's the drug seller.
No, sir.
That's tough.
My boyfriend also grew up in a household without much celebratory spirit. He didn't receive gifts for his birthday, for Christmas. Him and his friends never even exchanged gifts on special occasions. And so, is it really fair for me to judge his love based on what he gives me if he has never been taught to give material gifts? Even as I'm saying this, I understand how hard it can be to not let these little things
The cam makes you
affect
look like a
We are
dad. Why you always say that? You say I look like a dad without the camera. You said nah, I said I look like a dad with the camera. I already told you that I am old enough to be a father, but I will never be a father in this day and era, bro. Not for a long time, bro. I'm sorry, I ain't being a father to no one. No.
I'm a kid right now.
I mean that's fine, but I don't want to be no one's father.
Well, me running around.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be no one's man. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good for a long time. I'm good for 1,000 years.
So I can play basketball with my kid. You know what I mean?
That's fine. Everyone else that wants a kid, though. I hope they get the best life of that because they deserve, they deserve that. They deserve a good family.
Surrounded by people who post picture-perfect moments of their relationship, and it constantly makes us fixate on how good the love we receive is. We are convinced that we should never settle, that there is some person out there who will give us a love as perfect as the ones we see in films and TV shows. I experience this sometimes too.
Okay, that was a lie. I actually experience this all the time. One of my greatest fears is not being loved.
I haven't started editing me and you yet, bro.
Oh,
I need to start editing that.
dang, bro. This person, Oli, just said something tough, bro. She said she feels her greatest fear is not being loved. That's an L fear. I'm sorry.
That is an L fear.
You got an L fear, Oli. That's the Lest fear ever.
You're always gonna not be loved, bro.
Exactly. Like if you can't love yourself, Oli, you're selling. Oli's selling. Oh no, Oli was. Oh no, Oli's selling, bro. How are you selling this bad?
30 different fit changes.
Oli.
So, is it really fair for me to judge his love based on what he gives me if he has never been taught to give material gifts. Even as I'm saying this, I understand how hard it can be to not let these little things affect you. We are surrounded by people who post picture-perfect moments of their relationship, and it constantly makes us fixate on how good the love we receive is. We are convinced that we should never settle, that there is some person out there who will give us a love as perfect as the ones we see in films and TV shows.
Yeah, she just said that society also taught you to like never settle, because there's gonna be someone out there that's gonna give you the love that you wanted, whatever that is. But I believe that there is someone that is capable to give you that love that you want, and that is yourself. Why are you searching? Why are you searching external when you should be searching internal? Why are you selling? Stop selling. Whoever out there that's looking for love externally, and you looking for someone that's gonna love you the way you want, that person is there, and that person is you. You're selling if you don't believe that. And this is exactly why, you know what I'm saying, the outcomes happens in a way where it's not to your liking.
Experience this sometimes too.
Okay, that was a lie. I actually experience this all the time. One of my greatest fears is not being loved. So, honestly, this whole
Ollie.
video is almost like
Ollie,
a
that's
lecture
an
to
L.
myself. I've definitely got a lot to work on in the realm of love, so please don't think...
L said, please don't think. What is she talking about? What is she about to say?
Honestly, this whole video is almost like a lecture to myself. I've definitely got a lot to work on in the realm of love, so please don't think I feel superior to everyone, because...
No. I know you're not superior. I know that. I know you're not superior. Don't worry about that. Me, I know no one's superior. I'm not superior to no one. So no one is superior to no one. It's just a mentality, you know what I'm saying, thing where you supposed to be content with yourself. That's the important thing, right? Being content. That has nothing to do with superiority. So as far as that goes, I obviously know that you're not superior. But also, like, I understand that. And like I said, I still respect you, Ollie. Ollie, I respect Ollie for sure. W video, respect you. And the way you explained yourself, it's a good concept, and you're doing pretty good. You're learning about yourself. That's really good. Respect. And you acknowledge your what you call your lacks that you want to improve, which is good. Respectful. Respect that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ollie. At the end of the day, she did took a fat L for having that fear, but Ollie is still in the game. What game? The W game. You know what I'm saying? Where you're content with yourself, learning about yourself. As long as you're learning about yourself, you know what I'm saying, you're in the W game. And shout out to Ollie.
As I am not.
But that's why it's important to have a good level of self-love, so that you can squash paranoid worries
I'm done with this video. I'm about to be done with this video shortly.
And judge your relationship with a more clear head. And remember that these movies are not real. They are
W Ollie. Alright, I'm out of here. Before I leave though, I do gotta play this song. Fire song.
The pictures you took, when we showed me, you never did.
They were fire, but they weren't on purpose.
They can't hear it. They can't hear the song, guys.
What song you listening to? What happened to those chips? What happened to those chips, bro? It's my bad. You don't got these left?
You can't hear it? Man, he said he can't hear the song. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you can't hear the song, well, it is what it is. I'm about to end the stream, so.
Straight back.